These are 9 of the most common factual inaccuracies, and if you stay to the end of the video, you're going to learn exactly how to use them to get your deletions. And I don't care if you're disputing a collection, a debt buyer, a late payment, a charge-off, repossession, or foreclosure, you're going to know exactly what to look for on your credit report to get these things removed. And we're going over things like missing creditor name and account number, incorrect balances, undated late payments, date verified discrepancies, data loss activity, incorrect account types, and more. So let's get started. Now, if you want to see if I can do a credit sweep for you, make sure that you use the link at the top of your screen and down in the description to schedule a call with me for a credit sweep, and I'll see if I can help. All right, so here is number 1, missing creditor name and account number. And this is probably the least potent of factual errors to look for. But if there is nothing else that you can find, you can dispute it. Now, an example of a dispute reason for this would be this listing is incomplete. It's missing the date of last payment. Deleted. The credit bureaus may just correct and update it, and if that happens, you should get the docs from the creditor to verify the bureau updated correctly. And in some cases, the creditor will have absolutely no record of the account, and the bureau didn't actually update anything. Because remember, there's no people on this, there's no investigation, everything is processed by computers, all right? So if the creditor states there's no record, you can use this letter to get a deletion. Now, incorrect balances. So this is the most common with collections because the debt buyer collectors want to inflict as much damage as possible to consumers' credit score in order to coerce them into paying, right? So we're looking for balances that are higher than the high balance, and obviously that's a mathematical impossibility, but it happens. Now, if the account has been sold or transferred to another lender or collector, the balance on the original account should be 0. And if the account is a paid charge-off or a paid collection and is being reported correctly, it may not be smart or necessary to try to remove it. Now, removing neutral items can sometimes cause the consumer's credit score to drop. And I apologize for the typos on here. Now, if positive and transferred or sold, but original creditor still showing open with 0 balance and nothing derogatory, leave it alone, right? Now, incorrect credit limits. Now, banks will often not report the actual credit limits, for example, Barclays and Capital One, but will instead use the highest balance owed as the credit limit, right? And obviously that's not accurate. That's not correct. So a $10,000 card that only has $300 charged on it will show a $300 limit. Now, Capital One and Barclays are notorious for this, like I said, so keep this in mind. Now, high utilization. This can make it look like a consumer is using a lot more of their available credit than they actually are. Now, here's the reason. It's to prevent consumers from building up their credit scores and getting additional credit at lower rates. Remember, everything is money for them, right? They obtain, maintain, and sell information to the actual data furnisher, the lender, such as Capital One, and they want to charge you higher interest, right? So this helps creditors keep a larger percentage of consumers stuck in the subprime market. More profit because it keeps away lower interest competition, okay? Now, mail the statements. Try mailing a copy of the statement to the bureaus and ask for complete reporting of the limit. And if this does not work, charge the card up to the max without going over the limit and then promptly pay it back. This is the indirect tactic that I went over in the indirect dispute tactics series that you can find in my playlist, all right? Now, collections with a credit limit. How is there a limit? How can a collection account have a credit limit? Now, this may inflict more damage to the credit score, not only because of the date assigned factor with the scoring, but the credit limit may also go into your numbers, right? So we do not want this to show as if you're paying on something or that you have more credit or a credit limit that you don't actually have, all right? So and with this type of account, you can ask for the deletion based on the inaccurate reporting of a limit on a collection, okay? Now, the definition of factual disputing is where you take the facts reported by the Bureau's creditors and collectors and dispute the inaccuracies backed by these facts to support your argument, okay? That is factual disputes for credit sweeps. So if you want to remove these accounts from your credit report, the fastest way, besides, going after your privacy violations and whatnot, is going to be factual based disputes, all right? So here's another one, late payments after the account was closed. Now, if the account was closed or charged off, there should not be any delinquencies after the close date. So if the close or charge off date is not listed on your credit report, you can call or write the creditor to get it. Now, supporting docs can mean the difference between a deletion and correction, right? With or without documentation, factually disputing your late payments after the close date can remove the account, okay? Also keep an eye out for delinquencies for $0 and the incorrect notations like 4506 charged off, 123 past due, as opposed to just $123 balance, okay? Now, undated late payments. So you're going to want to look for undated late payments. If there's no date, how do you know that they're accurate? How do you know that I was late? Write the bureau and ask them something like, please provide an itemized list of lates, the late payment dates for account numbers XYZ. And you can also contact the creditor and get the documented late payment dates and make sure that they actually match. Now, if they don't, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to reach out to the bureaus and you're going to say, hey, look, this stuff doesn't match. They don't have any dates, or this doesn't match what the creditor has. Remove these late payments from my credit report or the account entirely. Now, incorrect account types. Another common reporting mystery is when, a charge off is listed as an open account. It's impossible for a charge off to be an open account. It's been reported as a loss and the account must first be closed to become a charge-off. This can be disputed for removal by stating that the account is listed as an open charge-off and requires deletion for inaccuracy. Now, another thing you want to keep in mind is this, I see this all the time with collections. A collection must actually be closed. You cannot have an open collection, okay? Now, what's your biggest ammo? Now, I'm glad that you actually asked, because I'm going to give you one of the biggest impact tactics, and I'm not saying the words on the screen because of demonetization, and it can be used to remove your charge-offs, collections, foreclosure, possessions, and more, all right? All right, so we have date of last activity, and I would actually now put date of last payment on top of date of last activity, okay? So, and that's because it's a timestamp of when the account was last permanently delinquent, and so let's say that your date of last payment, not activity, is January 2000, right? Most items will stay on your report for 7 years or until January 2007, right? However, the date can change if the date is re-aged or moved forward. And if you find re-aging, which is incorrect reporting, you can also ask for correction, okay? Now, another big impact tactic is failure to investigate. Now, let me show you what I mean. So the date updated or verified discrepancies occur when an item comes back as verified and the bureaus actually, say, hey, it's verified, but they don't update it, right? Now, credit bureau employees are under tremendous pressure to finish disputes quickly when they actually go to a person, which doesn't happen frequently because of automation. And this can actually result in numerous issues or errors in regards to verification and investigation of disputes, right? So with names, you want to remember that all three bureaus have a different name for the date updated or verified, okay? So Experian calls it date verified. Equifax is item of date reported. TransUnion calls it date updated. Verification, it's whenever an item comes back as verified as accurate. And these dates should also reflect the month and year in which the verification was done. And many times these dates don't change and should, as I mentioned, if the bureaus properly verified the item, right? So let's say that, you dispute it in July 2007 and ask for a deletion. The DU is listed as March 2006. If the bureaus actually investigated, it would change to July 2007. But if it remains March 2006, it means that the bureaus probably didn't do any real investigation. And you can always follow up with something like this. On date, I disputed the creditor and account number. You verified the item is accurate. However, the date updated did not change. No investigation was actually done. I'm requesting deletion based upon the fact that you did not follow your procedures as outlined in the FCRA. And then for incorrect reporting, and this is from the Bennett testimony, I also see a large number of pure inaccuracy cases, those in which an individual item within a credit report is inaccurate. These types of problems, though lacking the glamour and the intrigue of an identity theft, are far more common and just as damaging. All right. So if you want to see if there are do-it-yourself tools that you can check out, you can go to links short, LYNX short, SHORT.com /offers. You can go to the do-it-yourself vault at vault.my740.com. You can check out some awesome resources at hub.my740.com, or you can check out if I can do a credit sweep for you by going to my740.com. And that is it for today. Click on one of the other videos.